Mitt Romney speaking back on the campaign trail. He's campaigning with Pat Robertson, who I swear I'm always surprised that he's not dead. And I don't mean like I just keep thinking, like, who am I thinking? Jerry Falwell died.
Yeah,
but I always think that Pat Robertson.
And Oral Roberts died.
Oral Roberts died, right. But
and he's got Roberts, and the other one's Robertson, so close.
Yeah, that's it. And obviously Jerry Falwell and Pat Robertson, you think of the same way. So the good news is Pat Robertson's alive.
Oh, yeah. Well, and he provides a clip for us every single week.
Yeah, right. So Romney campaigning with him. And here's the thing. He talks about going back to when the Democrats had the one fake news story. Well, that wasn't a fake news story. It's just the party platforms are meaningless. Mm-hmm. But the story about, and I know how you felt about it, I'm certain without even hearing you having talked about it, Obama wanting to put that Jerusalem is the capital of Israel and that put God back in. Well, first of all, I also heard my dad's voice on this. So before we get to that, I will get your thoughts, because I thought my father would have been so irritated at that story as to who the clown was who took God out in the first place. Like, because it doesn't mean anything. What are you doing?
Yeah.
So
there was a simple phrase that just said God given in the context of something else, right? So why bother taking it out? You're going to cause a political controversy for no reason. But what did your dad say?
That's what he would have said. He would have been incredible. Don't take it out. Who cares whether we believe in God or whether we think that's mixing church and state? This is not the place for that conversation.
Yeah. I would have left it alone, right? But that being said, once it was taken out, it seems weak to put it back in. And they haven't been running a weak campaign, so maybe they're right. They've been running great campaigns, so they just want to put it right back in, except they screwed up because then when Viragosa went up to put it back in...
Did he pull the Boehner?
Yeah, he pulled the Boehner, and they kept saying, no. He's like, so?
Yeah,
the eyes have it. Okay, you're like, oh, now it got embarrassing.
Yeah, right, it did get embarrassing there. So Romney now, well, let's play the clip. Here's Romney campaigning with Pat Robertson.
That pledge says, under God. I will not take God out of the name of our platform. I will not take God off our coins, and I will not take God out of my heart. We're a nation bestowed by God.
And I would like to add, God.
Yeah, totally.
And my favorite basketball player was God, Sham God. By the way, he's not taking it out of the pledge. It was a simple sentence in the middle of the Democratic platform that said God-given, not related to the Pledge of Allegiance at all. And where did the coin thing come from? That's just made up.
Made up. Just gonna say that. No, I mean, it's in that sense, it's good politics. But all it's going to do is it's a rare moment where people actually stand for anything that Mitt Romney says. By the way, I think Romney should go back to, he should wear a suit. Mm-hmm. Like, again, I think part of his problem is authenticity, and you see him, like, he's a guy who wears a suit. Don't pretend you're sort of buttoned down and casual, because you can't pull it off.
No, of course. And second of all, there's nothing real about this guy. Like, do you think that he's God, I will put God everywhere.
He doesn't care.
I will put God on the planet Kolob. Oh, right, that's where he is according to the Mormon religion.
By the way, I come from Mormons, as you know.
Yeah.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it turns out that Jesus was on planet Kolob. Okay, Mormons believe...
I don't know that. Really? You sure?
That's what, yeah, kind of.
That doesn't sound right.
Okay.
The question, though, is this like, is it a one-time thing here because it's a good line immediately after the Democratic convention where they had this snafu? I think I'm stealing the word right from Talking Points memo, but they had this issue at the Democratic convention with the God line. And so is he just doing it here, or is this a further right turn, that Romney had sort of stayed away from religion and talking about this stuff is now going to start talking the way George Bush talked and the way so many sort of right-wing zealots have talked about, sort of suggesting the other guys aren't on God's team?
Yeah, of course he is. Of course he's going to do that. And look, what I got out of that clip more than anything else is this party's got nothing, man. Nothing. It's all hate. Oh, that he's not like you. He doesn't believe in God. He wants to take it off the coins. Just made up crap. Hate, right? And that's what they had in their convention. Everybody's like, oh, why didn't their convention work well? Because it's their ideas. They suck, okay? They suck. They got nothing. Tax cuts, lies, deregulation. This is the same shit we've been hearing for 30 years, and the American people are fucking tired of it. That's why it didn't work. It's that simple.